Imagine a leader who claims total control yet sleeps in a different bed every night. A leader who switches phones more often than most people switch outfits. A leader who says everything is fine while surrounding himself with foreign bodyguards because he fears betrayal from his own. This is the story of Nicolás Maduro today, facing what many describe as the greatest threat to his 12-year rule. And whether you support him, oppose him, or simply watch global politics unfold like a real-life thriller, what is happening now in Venezuela is one of the most intense political standoffs of our time. According to people inside his circle, Maduro is living under constant tension. Not public tension, not the dancing, smiling, joking image he projects on TikTok and at rallies. Behind the scenes, it's a different world. He's rotating beds, rotating homes, rotating phones, all to avoid a precision raid, a drone strike, or an inside betrayal. These aren't rumors, they're habits, described by people close to him who say the fear has never been higher. This all escalated when President Trump began mobilizing U.S. warships in the Caribbean, claiming Venezuela's military was helping smuggle drugs into the United States. The accusations were serious, the military pressure was real, and Maduro reacted fast. He increased his Cuban security detail. Cubans in the palace, Cubans in the military, Cubans watching Venezuelans who are supposed to protect him. The Cubans, according to insiders, are now the ones he trusts the most. But in public, Maduro keeps doing what he does best, pretending nothing is wrong. He appears unannounced at rallies, cracking jokes, dancing to electronic music, shouting "No war, peace," while a sniper watches over the crowd from above. This contrast is almost cinematic. And it raises a question. Is this confidence genuine, or is it theater for the cameras? People close to him say he believes he will outlast Trump again. He always has. Ever since taking power after Chavez died in 2013, Maduro has jumped from crisis to crisis, each seemingly worse than the last. Economic collapse, massive protests, coup plots, international pressure, sanctions, and somehow he stays. His critics used to joke that he was clumsy, that he wasn't charismatic enough. They mocked him, calling him maburro, playing on the Spanish word for donkey. But behind those public blunders, he was quietly building a political machine, loyalists, hardliners, and generals enriched through access to gold mines, oil operations, and import networks. This wasn't luck. This was survival engineering. Trump's administration recognized a rival, imposed sweeping sanctions, and tried to force Maduro out. And for a moment, it seemed like pressure might work. But Maduro used those same sanctions to justify new economic changes. He blamed Trump for everything, centralized more power, and kept moving forward. Then came the election he lost by almost 40 points. An election that many inside Venezuela and around the world said was the final line, the last democratic barrier, a barrier he crossed without hesitation. He simply ignored the results, proving he was no longer operating within the rules of democracy. And that's where the real crisis lies. Not the warships, not the phones, not the Cuban bodyguards. It's legitimacy. Even former allies admit the government is in denial about how much the population rejects them. Even if the U.S. backs off, even if negotiations restart, even if diplomatic deals appear possible, that reality remains. Trump's team even discussed a possible transition plan, Maduro stepping aside, handing power to a trusted lieutenant, and allowing a referendum in 2027 or later. But those talks went nowhere. And historically, any attempt to remove him through public votes, referendums, or formal procedures has been shut down by the institutions he controls. So now we're left with the standoff. A president protected by rotating beds, secret phones, Cuban bodyguards, and a shrinking circle of trust. A country caught between fear, survival, and exhaustion. And a world watching two powerful figures, Maduro and Trump, test each other's limits. So I want to ask you directly, what do you think will happen next? Will Maduro outlast Trump again? Will pressure force real change in Venezuela? Or is this just another chapter in a long political survival story? Tell me your opinion in the comments. I really want to see what different people think about this moment.